Elliot Roth of the Business Consumer Insights at 2025 Penfield Road, Penfield, New York. I remind you of a conversation that we had. I leave my house to walk through the parking lot next to my house. And this is it. That's the parking lot. This parking lot is next to 2025 Penfield Road, which is your Consumer Insights business. And as I'm walking through this parking lot for the 4,000th time, I've walked through this parking lot since I've lived here in Penfield, since I moved here to Penfield in 2012. So I'm walking by you, and you say to me, "You're going to be arrested." Now, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm looking at the look on your face. And I don't understand the look on your face. I think you're mentally ill, as I previously told you. Why are you telling me I'm going to be arrested? All I did is exit my house and begin to walk through this parking lot that 20 people a day walk through. And you're telling me I'm going to be arrested. It is confounding to me as I continue to walk down Penfield Road along the sidewalk why you said that to me. Because I was thinking about it as I was walking down the sidewalk on Penfield Road. Why did he say that to me? How odd, how bizarre. I don't get it at all. And no one would get it. I'm going about my ordinary day, walking through this parking lot. And I know you recognize that parking lot because 17.9 million New Yorkers can walk through this parking lot. And none of them will be arrested. I'm the only one. So where did my 14th Amendment right to equal protection of the laws go? Now I'm going to tell you, Elliot, that my dentist, Dr. Gloria Nichols, is right there, was right there in that building next to you. And Dr. Nichols is such a wonderful person. If you need a dentist, Elliot, I recommend Dr. Gloria Nichols because she just has every type of character attribute that you would want in a dentist and a medical professional. She's just an absolute heart of gold. And she's not one of these drive-by doctors or dentists where, and I'm sure you've been at the dentist, you would notice this, they just go room to room, boom, boom, boom. They want to get it over as soon as possible. They want to get as many clients in as possible. They want to earn as much money as possible, which is fine. But she will sit there and talk to you about your questions, about how you can maintain your dental health. And she's just the best. So if you're looking for a dentist, she used to live next to you. Well, after Dr. Nichols left, this is when Layla Kumar and Neeraj Shah moved to 2041 Penfield Road. And I'm walking through the parking lot, topping my 4,000 times one day, and I'm walking home through the Holy Roman Todd K. Baxter parking lot that I'm not allowed to walk through, and that I'm the only one in the entire state of New York that will be arrested for walking through the Holy Roman Todd K. Baxter parking lot. So I pass the building, 2041 Penfield Road, and my back is turned as I continue to walk through the Holy Roman Todd K. Baxter parking lot, and I hear screaming from behind me. And I turn around, and there's Neeraj Shah going berserk in his car. And I walk up to him, and I don't know what the problem is, and we have this confrontation. And I go back to my house, and this is when he goes to the sheriff's office. And this is when the sheriff decides to nail me to the wall. And that's when they affix that device to that building that they'll lie about. Because I was on that device, and it is a surveillance device. And they'll lie about that too, because they have to lie about that. Lying is the only way to go to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. They have to lie about it. And I don't even know if it's up there anymore. So, Elliot, as I'm walking through the parking lot, and you say to me you're going to be arrested, did that bother you at all? Did that trouble you at all? I mean, do you understand that I have civil and constitutional rights in the United States of America? And why did you say that to me? But that's not the question I want to ask you. It's not why did you say that to me. My question is, what is the name of the individual in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office that told you I was going to be arrested? That's my question to you. You have my email. And the reason why I ask you that is because if a law enforcement officer or official told me that another citizen wants to be arrested, I would remember that person's name and likeness. So, what was the name of the person in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office that told you I was to be arrested? It's that simple. I want to know. And I know you're not going to tell me. I'm just telling you I want to know. But if the roles were reversed and this happened to you, and someone told me that you would be arrested from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and then you asked me, Chris, who in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office told you I was to be arrested? You know what I would do, despite what I think of you? I would tell you. I would tell you that person's name. Because that's decency and civility. So, Elliot, I want to tell you about this parking lot and how these 6 fanatics converged on me. Here comes the toothless grass cutter down here. They, Raj and Layla Kumar Shah don't own that land. I'm standing right here in the parking lot, right there. You see where my finger is? That's where I'm standing. For 30 seconds, I go outside. I tell them, they, Raj and Layla Kumar Shah don't own that land. 30 seconds, and I go back in my house. I sit down on my couch. And that's when I see Deputy Fascist Stooge Meyer run into my backyard. She falls down on her face, crash lands on her face in my backyard dirt. Todd Baxter is such an incompetent that his public employees, his taxpayer-financed whack jobs are falling down in my backyard. So, and then I hear this pounding on my door. And these 6 fanatics are out there. And the one fanatic, the sergeant, he says to me, we just want to talk to you outside, and that's a lie. They're lying to me. The first language I hear from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office is a lie. They want to get me outside, which they did because I walked outside and they surrounded me and they put the handcuffs on me. So that's what happened. And then they took me to the jail, Elliot, and I'm inside the jail. And they handcuffed me inside the jail, and I couldn't reach the urinal. I urinated on myself. So this is what they're doing to me. As an innocent American, as an innocent citizen who hasn't committed any crime ever. You know, I'm 54 years old. You know how many times I've been arrested in my life prior to that day? 0. Because I'm not a criminal. I haven't committed a crime. So, that's what I want to tell you, Elliot. Now, I want to also tell you about your neighbor, Layla Kumar Shah. This is a 71-year-old woman that I have never met. And I'm going to show you this document. That is a document that I look at. And why this document exists is a disgrace. This is an order of protection. You can see it right there. That's an order of protection. Signed by John P. Lomenzo Jr. on Penfield Town Court, right down there on Bad Road. You know where it is. And this document is an order of protection that orders me to stay away from Layla Shah, refrain from communication with Layla Shah, refrain from intentionally injuring and killing Layla Shah, and refrain from communication or any other contact by mail, telephone, email, voicemail, or other electronic or other means. She lives right there next to you. And this is a 71-year-old woman that I have never met. And there's an order of protection against me, against a 71-year-old woman I have never met. What would you think if there was an order of protection against you, Ellie, and you haven't done nothing wrong? Against a 71-year-old woman that you have never met. What would you think about that fact in your life if you looked at that document like I'm looking at this document right now? I know what you would think. That this is a descent on your character and who you are as a human being. And so Layla Kumar Shah, your neighbor at 2041 Pempy Road, there's this order of protection against me from her. And I've never met her, and that would change, and I'm going to explain that. And she has no problem with this. She has no problem at all with the fact that this document, this order of protection exists, and I've never met her when it was signed. And you know what happened? I had to sign my name to this document. My name is signed to this document because they told me at Penfield Town Court that if I refused to sign this, they would bring more charges against me. This is what they're doing to me. Is this the United States of America I live in? So I told my mom and dad that there was an order of protection against me. And there was dead silence on the phone for the first 10 seconds. And then I explained to them what I'm explaining to you. I had to tell my mom and dad about this. So I go to the YMCA to work out. And I highly recommend the YMCA. And it's right down over there on Fairport, 9 Mile. And I'm at the YMCA. And I'm in this room that has about 10 people in it. And I'm on the rowing machine. And I see Layla Kumar Shah in this room. And I don't say anything to her. Because she's a vile human being. This is a despicable person. This is a person that does not understand the difference between justice and injustice, right and wrong, truth and lies. She just is a human being that is totally bankrupt inside. And she's just fine with this order of protection against me. Your neighbor, Elliot. Your neighbor is fine with this, Elliot, Nancy, and Rebecca. This is who you're living next to here in Penfield. Layla Kumar Shah, with an order of protection signed by John P. Lomenzo Jr., Penfield Town Court. You can walk over there to Penfield Town Court today if you want to go to the library. And he'll be in there. In all likelihood, violating the rights of other innocent New Yorkers. So, this is who you live next to. This is who you work next to, I should say. Anyway, I get this letter from the Shah law firm right there. Dear Mr. Chichester, I represent Layla Shah, the owner of 2041 Penfield Road. Nayraj Shah represents Layla Kumar Shah. The family members represent each other. I laughed when I read that. And it's not grammatical either. I represent Layla Shah, comma, the owner of 2041 Penfield Road. Layla Kumar Shah owns 2041 Penfield Road. So, he writes me this letter telling me that please do not enter the property. Now, if he owned the property, why doesn't he just walk over to my house and hand me a title to the property and say, we own this property where you walk your dog and stay off the property? That's the way it works. That's the way I would do it. If I own land and somebody's walking their dog or doing something else on that land, and they don't belong on that land, I would say, this is my land. And if there was a continuing problem, I'd say, here's the title. And I would do it directly in person. I wouldn't send some demented letter to that person like Nayraj Shah, who represents Layla Kumar Shah. This incestuous pair represent each other. And there are Bar Association guidelines, American Bar Association, New York State Bar Association, that prohibit family members from representing each other because of the obvious conflicts. But that's not a conflict to Nayraj Shah and Layla Kumar Shah. So, this is the title he sends me, Elliot. And I'm going to hold this up for you. There it is. Now, Elliot and Layla Kumar and Nayraj. That's not a title to a property. So, that's not a title at all. I'll show it to you again, because you sent it to me. Now, I walk my dog over there on this land that you don't own and can't prove you own. So I'm out there with my wonderful little guy adopted from Lollipop Farm Humane Society, Layla Kumar and Nairaj. And you live in the United States of America, by the way. And the back window from your Shah law firm opens. And there's screaming from it. And I don't know what the screaming is. And I go in my house, I take my wonderful little guy in, and I go into your building, and I see this woman, this overweight woman, this deuce and a half sitting at her desk, that was screaming at me. And I ask her what the problem is, and she refuses to talk to me. I go back to my house, and what happened is you already called the sheriff's office on me. Because shortly thereafter, I hear her banging on my door. And there are two sheriff vehicles out front with the animal control guy, and he's standing there, a pole with his noose in his hand, and they want my dog. All I'm doing is walking my dog 4,000 times back there. And there they are. And my neighbor Adam is outside as I have this vicious confrontation. And I told him, you have to kill me to take my wonderful little guy from me. Nobody takes my little guy from me. This is what you're doing to me, Layla Kumar and Nairaj. You know what? It doesn't matter to you. It doesn't matter to you that disgusting, vile order of protection exists. You sit there in your residence knowing that document exists, knowing that you have never met me until I went to the YMCA. And that's not even a meeting. I'm just on the rowing machine, and there you are telling the guy at the YMCA that I shouldn't be there because I had order of protection. How do you allow Layla Kumar an order of protection against me at the time it was issued that I had never met you? How do you allow that to happen? How do you live with yourself knowing that document exists? What is wrong with you, Layla Kumar? Seriously, I'm asking you, what is wrong with you, Layla Kumar? And what is wrong with you, Nairaj? You see people walking through that parking lot all the day, all the time, all throughout the day. But I'm the only one that inflames your extremism. I'm the only one you go berserk about. Why? So, I don't know why. On June 29th, they had the fireworks at Harrison Whalen Park. And I went to that event. It was terrific. And at 10:40 p.m., I returned from the fireworks down Penfield Road. And what I see is one individual after another in front of me is walking through the parking lot. Now, this is what I see in front of me, directly in front of me. Everybody walks through the parking lot. Every single person in front of me. And there were about 50 people in front of me that I saw. And I kept walking down the sidewalk. Because this is your demented 1984, Layla Kumar and Nairaj. And you're fine with that. That's acceptable to you. Everybody walked through the parking lot except me. And as I wrote to you that night, that June 29th, at 10:51, a man and woman walked through the parking lot. At 10:54, another man and woman walked through the parking lot. At 10:57, two men walked through the parking lot. At 11:01, another man walked through the parking lot. At 11:03, a woman and a man with their dog walked through the parking lot. The man, the woman, and the dog walked through the Holy Roman Catholic Baxter parking lot. I'm sure that you would have loved to have called the sheriff. And the sheriff can show up with his two vehicles, an animal control vehicle, and sees that man's dog that walked through the parking lot. So, how do you live with yourself, Layla Kumar and Nairaj? Tell me. You got my email. How do you exist with this repulsive descent on my life that you're responsible for? And you're very lucky and fortunate that Sheriff Todd K. Baxter also can't make a distinction between right and wrong, truth and lies, justice and injustice. He's incapable of that morality. He can't make those decisions. So you are very lucky that your fanaticism is enabled by his fanaticism. So, Elliot, your employee Nancy Dooley called the sheriff's office on me because I exit my house with my wonderful little guy and I walk alongside the land. I'm going to show you that land again. This is land that Nairaj and Layla Kumar Shah don't own, right there. Because they don't have the title, they don't have the documents, they don't own the land. So I exit my house 4,000 times and I walk my wonderful little guy right there on that land to reach the land behind my house that Nairaj and Layla Kumar Shah don't own. So the sheriff's office has already been to my house because of your employees and this descent of my life. And I have zero tolerance for your employees and for you and everything you represent and your Jonestown cult there at 2025 Penfield Road. So as I'm walking my wonderful little guy on that land, your employee, Nancy Dooley, is exiting the parking lot in her vehicle. And she stops in her vehicle. And she's staring at me in her vehicle. And I don't know why she is staring at me in her vehicle. Because I'm just standing there with my wonderful little guy. Now, I know who she is. And I know what she represents. And I know she works in that building. So I say to your employee, Nancy Dooley, what the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you. And I take my wonderful little guy alongside that strip of land to reach the land behind my house that Nairaj and Layla Kumar Shah don't own. And he does his business. I come back in my house. So shortly thereafter, about an hour later, I hear a knock on my door. And it's two Monroe County Sheriff public employees. And I don't know why they're here. So I open the door. And I let them in. And I walk to the center of my living room. And as I turn around, this is a male and female. The male public employee from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office is about this close to my nose. And he yells at me, "What did you say to the woman in the car?" And I replied to him, I said, "What the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you," just like I'm going to say to you, "What the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you." And this male deputy fascist stooge from the Baxter Sheriff's Department says to me, "Don't swear at me." So here he is hammer and sickling my speech, this whack job. He demands to know my speech. I tell him my speech, and then he tells me not to swear in my own residence. This is what Nancy Dooley did. Do you, Nancy, know it's a crime in the state of New York to call police when no crime has been committed? Are you aware of that fact? Are you aware of the law in New York State? Tell me, Nancy, what crime did I commit as I'm standing there with my little guy and I say to you, "What the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you"? I really want to know. Email me. You got my email. You called the sheriff's office on me. This is called falsely reporting an incident. What is wrong with you, Nancy? I want to know. What is wrong with you? And what crime did I commit? Because I hurt your precious little fucking feelings by using profanity, that's not against the law. That's called exercising my First Amendment right. So I'm astounded at what I live next to. With you, Elliot, at Consumer Insights, and you, Nancy Dooley, at Consumer Insights, and Layla Kumar and Nairaj Shah. I tell my friends and family about this, about what's happened to me. And they're astounded too. So, when the sheriff's officer descended on me for standing in the corner of that parking lot, they put the handcuffs on me, they took me to jail, and urinated on myself, they took me home. So the next day I had to call my mom and dad, my 78-year-old mother and my 84-year-old father. And I had to tell them that I was arrested. So they're both on the phone. And I told them, "Mom, Dad, I was arrested." And my mother started to cry. And she said to me immediately, "I know you didn't do anything wrong, Christopher."